following audio transmission was received from an unknown radio source within the northeastern region of the continental United States. The radio signal has been deciphered from a secret broadcasting facility and is now being transmitted to your listening device. This is the Nostalgia Cafes.
And welcome back to the greatest memories of your childhood, the Nostalgia Cafe. We are so glad you found us. I am Dan Morrow.
I am Sam, Slip and Slide Seitels.
Ooh, slip and slide tell right there.
Seitels.
See what I did there? And of course with us, as always, is the beautiful Karen Lynn.
Hello.
Dang, now I wish I had said it like that.
Slip and slide tell.
Slip and Slide Tells. That was really good.
That's your new name now. The fans won't let you live that down. Slip and slide tell.
I'll take it.
I'm actually going to have to write
I'll
that
take
down.
it.
He's going to write that down.
Yeah.
That's what I'll put on all my stuff from now on.
Yep.
Yeah, slip and slide.
Slide Tells. That's a keeper.
It doesn't take much to keep
We
you
got
guys entertained.
a few housekeeping procedures for you. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, everything. And here comes the cling.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Can't
Ooh,
wait.
That's still playing.
Oh.
Shut that off. That's fine. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and of course right here on YouTube.
That's a good one.
That's what
good
she
stuff.
said.
That's what she said.
That's what she
Damn,
said.
not you too, man.
Sam,
Oh.
your first time watching Jaws.
Oh, we're going to talk about that. Yeah. I'm ashamed as a host of Nostalgia Cafe. But
Or just a human.
Shame.
yeah, I do want to say that we definitely have to do an episode on that.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, oh boy, does that movie hold up.
It does.
Holy cow, that first scene. Oh my God. I was like, wow, this is legit terrifying.
They're just, it holds up great. Spielberg's his first major motion picture.
That was the first one.
He did a film called Duel back in the early 70s. And I believe he had one other film, but Duel came out, and it was a guy constantly being chased by a semi-truck, by just this big truck that would just,
There was a remake of that.
it would just follow him constantly.
Because of the driver, or did this truck have a mind of its own?
No, there was a driver, and for some reason he kept picking on this guy.
Yeah, that's definitely
And-
a remake.
Well,
No, there is a remake of that.
there was a film about 20 years ago. I want to say 15, 20 years ago with, I think it was called I Know What You Did, or I Saw What You Did. It was
wait.
something along those lines.
Well, there's
where
Duel. But there's
Was Duel good? Like, is it a Spielberg movie?
it holds up.
Joyride.
Joyride?
Yes.
Okay. Duel was a pretty good film. He never knew who this truck was, and it kept just harassing him throughout his whole journey. Just this unknown, dark-windowed 18-wheeler. Oh. And it was terrifying at the time.
That was 1971.
Okay.
Duel. And Joyride was 2001.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Our fact checker
I was
is
doing
on
fact checking. I'm
point.
liking it.
Dude,
I'm liking it. I'm
she's
liking
upped
it.
her game.
Earning her money now. We were thinking about getting a Karen calendar made for the fans.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that right? Is that right?
I think maybe we should find a whole bunch of other podcasters who have attractive hosts and make a collection of all the.
Of course,
you and me would not be on it.
No, but of course, your Karen would be the January. I mean, she has to be the front page. Am I right?
And my birthday's in January.
Mine too. What are you?
I'm the 15th.
Oh, we're pretty close. 25th.
Yeah, right
Right
there?
on. Dan's gonna.
Yeah, right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not even drinking.
I know.
No.
Went down the wrong
No.
pipe.
So, did you guys?
did our
toast?
toast
Okay,
already.
great.
We are
great.
way ahead of you.
Just a
now.
little quick thing about Jaws. Because Spielberg just finished Duel, he was handed the book of Jaws and decided he would do it based on all these things. Duel. What? What happened?
I don't know. It said you may be having performance issues.
Oh,
Wow, that is the computer telling us something?
That's what she said. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep a look on that.
Okay.
I really got it. This computer's being used hard. And I don't have time to
Okay.
calibrate.
do anything.
I'll keep my
I need
eye
to
out.
clean it up. I need to clean it up.
It's too much on there, dude.
It
Yep.
takes like an hour just to find the file to clean up.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry.
So Jaws was the movie that really broke Spielberg out, huh?
yeah, he figured I'll do this because my last film was Duel, and it was about this guy being chased by this large, leviathan of a truck. Now, and this movie's about a guy being chased by this large shark. Duel has 4 letters. Jaws has 4 letters. He got that crazy.
Oh.
And he went ahead and did it. A guy named Joe Alves designed the shark and actually created. They found a place off of Martha's Vineyard, which had.
Don't go too in depth because we are going to have a whole show about.
No,
But the
we
Jaws
will.
shark, like, everyone's always like, oh, a shark looks fake. Dude, maybe it's because they built that up in my mind. I was impressed by how the shark looked in part 1.
Well, the mere fact that it was real. Nowadays, it would be CGI.
Right.
So this is a real shark.
Yes.
And what
Love
they
it.
did was they tried to find a place where they can go as far out as possible, yet still have shallow water. So they can put a track system in with this arm that they can mount the shark on.
That's how they did it.
And it would just go on this track. And
I was saying, because I was just like, how are they possibly doing this? Like,
I
it was
think that's-
moving.
That's the great thing now about the films when you watch them now, because nothing was computered. There weren't computers, to use that kind of
Garbage,
stuff.
man. There's never a
So
time I look at
everything
CGI
was
and I'm
real.
like, that looks great. Never.
So everything was real and practical in the shot. The shark was given a name. And I'm assuming since you've just seen Jaws that you would have no idea what the actual shark's name was. The Spielberg gave it a name.
No.
Its name was Bruce.
Bruce.
He named it Bruce because that was the name of his lawyer.
A shark.
Oh, nice, man. He thinks into everything, doesn't he?
He does. He still has that lawyer.
You know what I saw before? Oh, he does. Wow. You know what I watched before I watched Jaws?
I don't.
I watched Jaws 4.
Oh.
Ooh, the revenge.
Now that movie,
Why would you want to watch him out of order like that?
because I am a stickler.
Especially that film.
I am
Was
a
it just because Lance Guest was in it?
That was one of the reasons, but I am the true stickler for garbage movies. I love to watch these movies. Like, I love the fact that he growled and jumped out of the water. I mean, it was so silly. And he was like tracking them. Like, he was, the
Yeah.
shark in part 4
Yeah.
was actually going out of his way to find these people he wanted revenge on.
Yeah.
The storyline is he followed them from Amity to the Bahamas.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
So hilarious.
Yeah. In fact, the tagline was, "This time it's personal."
Spielberg had nothing to do with this one.
He only did Jaws 1.
Okay.
And Jaws, a lot of people watched it, and a lot of the executives were still like questioning whether or not this was going to be possible because, first of all, the shark wouldn't work. Like the shark just didn't work. The mechanics, the water was just
Doing it in water.
it was killing it.
Yeah.
And eventually they got it working, and then he wound up getting a lady named Verna Fields to help him edit and put it all together. And it still wasn't quite there yet. And the executives saw it and thought it was good. But Spielberg decided, I need to do one more little touch. And that was to get John Williams to compose the music for it. And once you got that combination of John Williams and Steven Spielberg,
Suspense.
he's never used another composer since.
Oh, really? Yeah.
All his films have had John Williams
E.T.,
compose.
all of them, huh?
E.T. And then he recommended to his friend George Lucas, you should get my friend John Williams to score this stuff for you. Score your new film. So he used them for Star Wars. So you name the film.
Wow,
Close Encounter.
really
You
iconic
name a Lucas
sounds.
film. You name a Spielberg film. Schindler's List.
I mean,
Raiders
we're
of the
talking-
Lost Ark,
We're talking sounds that you
E.T..
hear it, you know what it is and where it came from, and you have a picture in your mind.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Is he still alive, this man?
John Williams, yeah, he just finished. He's done every Star Wars film, so he just finished the
Wow.
most recent one they did.
See,
But
he must be known as the GOAT. He must be.
he is the goat.
Yeah.
he is the goat. He is the GOAT.
Okay, this
But we
has
didn't
nothing
come
to
here.
do with what we're talking about
No,
tonight.
Well,
no,
you
just
know-
a little warm
We
up.
get 10 minutes into...
But the only thing, you're right, because
Yes.
the only thing more dangerous than Jaws
Right.
are the toys our parents used to give us.
There was a Jaws
Right.
toy.
Oh, was there?
It was kind of like the Perfection
They
Game,
eat your head off.
except it was on a timer, and it was just a shark. It was like this plastic shark with a jaw, and there was a timer, and you had a fishing hook, and you had so many seconds to get all the little junk out of his mouth
Oh, that's
before
funny.
his jaws would clamp up on you.
I don't remember that game.
That's a cool
It was
one.
called Jaws.
Yeah.
I didn't know it.
Everyone had a little fishing hook, and you had to get a car or a person or like a steering wheel. Yeah, he ate all these things, and they were all in his mouth. So like
A
a
hand.
suitcase. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds fun. Very cool, very cool. So, did you play with dangerous toys when you were a youngster? Karen was struggling. Trying
I
to
was
think.
struggling because the most dangerous to me was playing with my brothers because they would beat the shit out of me and then be like, shh, don't tell mom, don't tell mom, don't tell mom.
Did you tell her?
Sometimes I did.
Okay.
Mom! And then, but there were times I would bribe them with things.
I made my notes.
My
not tell
sister,
mom.
yeah, of course,
Yeah.
boss move. My sister would hurt me and then frame me. She would like throw a phone at me, and I would be like, "Ow, I'm gonna go tell mom." She's like, "No, I'm gonna tell her first."
When I think back, and my parents do know this now because of course we tell them these stories like 'cause
Yeah,
they were
it's fun.
working. We were like the key around the neck. Let yourself in. Call mom. We're home.
Best of luck, everyone.
Yeah, we're home. Okay, put your play clothes on. Do your homework. Put your play clothes on. But we would play this. No toys involved. This was hide and seek.
Oh.
We'd play hide and seek in the house. We'd hide in the dryer, on top of the refrigerator.
Oh, these are all safe moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did those
In
kinds
the
of fun-
dryer. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
We did
me
those
feel like
kinds-
I have to have a talk with my kids.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're actually going to have each one do like a top 10 or a top 5 because I think we can all agree on stuff. So it's just a matter of let's bring up a
Yeah.
topic
Yeah.
and comment on,
and
on
Sam's
that.
like, no.
Well, dude.
Let's see.
But
dude,
and
you
kick
probably
it
have
off.
more. Yeah. You
Well,
probably have more.
yeah,
on your list.
I lived a life of danger,
Yeah.
as we all know. I'm super interested to hear what Dan has to say because he was talking to me. This episode got brought up because of some like nuclear toy. I've never, and since you mentioned it, I looked a little into it, but I stopped because I want to hear it from the man.
I know that it existed. It was called, I think it was called the Atomic Lab.
Yes, I saw it online.
Okay,
okay.
that's what it was called. I don't have to research it.
It
Nope,
was,
you're
it was
good.
by,
Okay.
I forget the company.
Oh, geez.
It was
See,
by
I still
Yeah,
have to
I still
look
want
some-
you to work.
The Atomic
Lab.
Lab.
I don't know
Look
if it was
it up, people. It is bonkers.
I really need to
Yeah,
start.
I
look,
first
leaving
learned
my
about
glasses
this.
over here.
I first learned about this actually from watching a really good documentary on Bob Lazar. If you ever watch it, he's the one that worked at Area 51. So if Jerry McCorbell directed it. Great film. But he says what got him into science was this chemistry lab, and he wants to redo it. He wants to make one.
Gilbert Atomic Lab.
Yeah, the Gilbert Atomic Lab, and it actually had radioactive elements in it that you can test. Now, from what he's
Was
from,
produced by Alfred Carlton Gilbert.
Thanks, Alfred. Taking the children out
Oh,
with your
sorry.
No, you're
nuclear.
fine.
I really do need to leave my glasses over here, though.
We live and learn. Do we not?
Yep.
Look at you opening your eyes all wide-eyed.
Because I'm not doing this.
so apparently it wasn't harmless. I mean, it was harmless.
Oh, what?
It was low level radiation.
But it's
like-
always
It
on
was
like the
just low level.
just low level. It's always on
low
a
level.
top
But like-
10 list for most dangerous toys.
I know, and I this is from what Bob Lazar was saying, and he said, it was just a very low level amount of radiation, and I think it was no different than whatever
but this
radiation
This
like
was
a phone
definitely.
might give
This
off or
was in
something.
the
But it was
50s.
This was in the 50s.
So this is.
And it was
I mean,
just-
it's nostalgia, but
Kids
it's,
basically
This is-
ate nuclear waste in the 50s.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, well, there's images of, and there's video of these big sprayers, these tanks with these sprayers that would come to spray like crops and
It
stuff.
says it's the
And
world's most dangerous.
They would have these huge tanks on the back, and they would spray it. And the government and everyone said
Had
it's perfectly
uranium.
harmless. And these kids would go under it and take and play under it as
my.
Oh my
as
God.
these trucks are going by.
Oh my.
Oh
And
my God.
there was a film called Awakenings with Robin Williams and Robert De Niro. If you ever get to see it, it's all these
Was it
Big
kids,
a movie?
fan of both those
all
Was a
these
gentlemen.
good
people
movie.
are like in a coma, and they finally snap out of it.
Yeah.
And I think many of these kids went into this state of coma from this. Wow. And I don't know if these were
From the science thing?
yeah. I don't know if this was
The science
thalidomide.
Here's the thing: is like we're always thinking like, God, everything is so nerfed nowadays. Everyone's in bubble wrap.
Yeah.
But then you hear a story like that, it's like, well, geez, when they're not, they're
Right.
getting sprayed with nuclear waste.
Yeah.
And God, I don't know. There's got to be some kind of happy medium.
No, it's crazy.
That's bonkers, dude. That's bonkers.
It's perfectly harmless. Perfectly harmless.
The metal slide was big on my list.
Yeah.
30, third degree burns on your
So there
on
was the
backs of
burns.
your legs.
I mean, if you went out there on a day like today,
Oh my gosh.
you would leave your booty on that
Yes.
slide.
Yes.
And it always kind of had like, maybe not always, but the ones that I experienced had sharp corners.
Yes.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, let me tell you guys, when I give the inspector like a tour around my playground and he's looking at this and looking at that, he might measure like a little space between two objects. And I'll be like,
So someone can get their head stuck.
no,
or-
so in the off chance that a kid with a sweater that has a string on it and it gets stuck in that
stuck,
little
yeah.
space and then they go down the slide and get choked out.
Oh, God.
And that is why there has to be X number of inches between these two things.
Wow.
We survived the
Yes.
metal slide.
Yes.
They're talking about the difference of 2 and 3 inches in spacing between two different objects. It's just like, wow, you guys have thought of everything.
Yeah.
How did we survive?
I don't know. We made it
How
though.
did we survive when our parents just left us
And
alone
the-
on the playground?
And
Maybe
the
that's-
spinny thing.
Oh, we're jumping to that. We need to take some time with that. The merry-go-round, right? Is that what it was
I
called?
don't know if that's
I don't know
what
if there
it
was ever a name for it.
I think
it's just a
merry-go-round
thing
was-
that makes you throw up.
Yeah, makes you dizzy, makes you fly off of it.
Yeah.
And
You know what we need? Someone that can actually like look that stuff up. Like see if there's an actual name.
dude, I don't know who
Daniel.
would take such a job. I mean, we are two demanding, handsome gentlemen. I don't know.
It would be like a
I'm pretty sure
I'm
it's a
looking
merry
it
a
up.
roundabout.
No, but there was always that one kid. Everyone's on there, and there's always that one kid that's like,
A little smart ass.
well, he's a fast smartass, and he's holding it at the end, and he's just running
It's called
full
the
speed.
merry-go-round.
Is it?
Boom, points for
There
me.
you go.
Ain't nothing merry about
And
that
you can
ride.
you can buy one. You can now buy one.
They're legal.
For $7,000.
Sold to nobody.
There you go. You sure you don't want one for your
I'll just spin
She
around.
got
on-
me watching the most stupid show. It's
Look
called.
at
It was
this
called
thing.
911.
I saw 911.
Okay.
It is pretty dumb.
that thing?
And-
It's
and-
like a hamster wheel or something.
I never had that. It looks safe, but very boring.
Probably roll around in that thing.
Yeah.
though. It's-
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's called 911, and
yeah.
there was one episode where someone hooked a motorcycle engine up
Yes.
to that, and they read that so the thing would go 100 miles an hour.
And
the
someone was
guy-
on it?
and the guy is on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Did
And-
that
and-
end well?
No.
No. No, didn't end well.
They called 911.
They
huh?
called
called
911.
911.
Okay.
Yeah.
That thing was crazy. And I remember being on that in fifth grade. And I remember a specific moment of it just being filled with people. And man, it was going so fast. And I remember thinking to myself, I should say something, but I don't want to be a loser.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't say anything. And I didn't get hurt. But God, I'm
But
sure.
everyone else did.
Yeah, but everyone else died.
even just the centrifugal force of everything, and there's no safe way to walk off that thing.
Yeah, first of
as
all-
it's spinning,
Yeah.
you either stay
Yeah.
or you fly
You
off.
take the dive. Jump and roll, my
Yeah.
friend.
First of all, I don't like things like that.
Spinny
So-
things, I will
I don't
never.
like spinny. I don't
You
like rides.
Teacups, the teacups.
No, I don't
Ugh.
like rides, period. So it's like,
Okay.
even I would be like on the swing and be like,
Oh, Karen, you
Yeah.
don't get crazy on the playground, do you?
no.
You know,
I fell on my head once on the monkey bars. hung
Well-
upside down, and boom.
Can we talk about the
Yeah.
monkey bars then?
Talk about the monkey
Yeah.
bars.
I mean, how many kids have broken something off of the monkey bars?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, if you look at the monkey bars from before we were even kids, those things were like 10, 20, 12 feet in the air.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yes.
It's when you're a kid and you're on these things
Yeah.
and you feel invincible. And I remember taking my kids to the playground and they get on it and like, Dad, come on. I'm like, okay. And then I start getting vertigo.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. How did I do this?
I actually like.
Well, there's always the one. Sorry, there's always the one kid who's like, "That's not enough for them," so they jump on top of it and walk across.
yes,
it.
the daredevil.
That used to be me.
That was
Yes.
me too.
The only thing I
There's
never
all
did was
those.
actually jump off of one. And I've seen kids do that. And at our school, at the elementary school back in the day, we had killer monkey bars. And we had
That's
the
where I
ones
fell on
where
my head.
The poles were like 8 feet in the air and
At
a ladder
school.
went across. And they were meant to hang on them, but you could stand on them.
See, I would do the same thing because I thought, top rope.
You know
I
why
thought it
there was
the top rope.
supervision? So there was always someone there to call the ambulance.
yeah.
Okay, there wasn't supervision to say, "Oh, don't do that." You'll
Yeah.
get
No,
hurt.
because no one
The
ever
only
told you not to
Never.
do
The
it.
only reason we
Never.
had teachers and aides out there to supervise us was to make sure there was somebody, an adult there to call the ambulance.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. They would just be in the back, chatting away, shooting the shit, and then all of a sudden,
yeah, they were mad that they had that post. They were like,
yeah.
we
They
lost
wanted-
rock, paper, scissors today.
Wait, what?
Just kidding.
The one teacher that got the short
Oh,
straw
yeah,
to have
that's why
to be
they
out
had to
there.
That's
go
why they had
out.
to go outside.
Yeah. When you think about those things, it's like, well, how did that even happen? How did those playground, wasn't someone like, wait a minute, I'm looking at my list and I feel like each one of these, there should have been some person in the warehouse being like, wait, guys, what?
And who knew when the teachers asked someone to volunteer to clap the erasers that you were inhaling the chalk.
Yeah, dangers at the
Dangers
school.
at the school.
Yeah. Not at my school. My
Good
school
times.
is, yeah.
Good times.
Yeah.
Not to mention that most of the things were all painted with lead.
Lead. Yeah. Yes. That's true too.
And
Yeah.
the asbestos in the
How
carpets
did
and in
people
the ceilings.
survive?
It was a
maybe
total
that's why we
different
are the
time.
way we are.
Yeah, that's finally answers.
To give you an indication of the generation, like my uncles served in World War II. They were drafted and they went to World War II. They came back and re-enlisted. Just nothing else
so
to do.
So hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, this is, if it wasn't for that generation, we wouldn't have we wouldn't have the planes we have now, because it took those nuts to go in those
Nuts.
planes and test fly them. And if they blew up, they blew up. And if they didn't, either they could eject or not. But it was just a generation where even the astronauts, the applications to become an astronaut were astronomical because they were just willing to take a chance. And they were brave. And they were like, well, if I should die, then I've died
Did
for
they
the
talk
better
like
good.
that?
You know?
Yes.
talk like
Haven't
They
you ever
did-
seen
they did
old
talk
movies?
like that.
They talk
They talk like that. And they ran like this.
So I have a question before we get into some more of these items. If you guys could choose A versus B, A are very neatly wrapped, bubble wrap lifestyles nowadays, or go back 30, 40, 50 years ago to let's kind of see what happens. What do you prefer?
All right. Well, here's the thing with me. If you're talking about my children, I tend to lean on the side of the bubble wrap because
Yeah.
even when I would watch them at the playground, I was always, somebody's going to get hurt.
See, this is what probably happened is
got
us,
cringy.
we got hurt, and then we were
Yes.
like, hey, we don't want you to get hurt because we love you so much,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it's
I
our
got
fault.
real cringy
Yes.
when I had my kids.
Did
Like,
you?
don't do this or don't do that. Don't dive off. Don't
Yes.
dive sideways
Because you
off the
see it
pool.
ending badly.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's that you
I think
see
it was also
ending
because I
badly.
was comfortable and I was in no mood to have to get up right now off my ass and go to the fucking hospital.
I am not
think-
going to the ER today.
I think the ratio is 80% that,
See, and
20% I don't want you to
See,
get
and
hurt.
I had girls, so they were a little less like
No, I
the
get it. My
wilds.
one daughter has changed things at my house.
But even when they would like rollerblade or I was that
You get
mom
nervous.
I was that mom, the elbow pads and the knee pads and the
Oh,
helmet.
I encourage the bumps and bruises, and that might sound wrong from a
Yeah.
guy like me, but I really do. it never did anything bad for me other than give me scars and memories and toughen me up, really, you know?
Yeah.
Really did. So can I go into one death trap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people played with this one. Did you guys ever play with lawn darts?
I don't know
I've
that.
heard all the stories, and I've seen lawn darts with my own eyes in person, but I've never.
I don't think I've ever played.
A lot of people have.
Now, it's just horseshoes
Right.
with darts.
With knives.
What could go wrong?
With knives.
No, they are
throwing them at each other.
And they played
Sharp.
it accordingly. They would stand. It's what the new generation doesn't know horseshoes, but they know cornhole. So
Correct.
it's that. You have your
That's
friends
true,
on one
too.
side,
Horseshoes
we're on the
are
other
probably
side.
dangerous because they're heavy. I don't know.
No, horseshoes were never really a problem. People knew to just get out of the way.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with the lawn darts. I think they just became.
Dude, they were
Weapons.
throwing knives for
Weapons.
5 and 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
My
It's a
kids,
bit of an
if my
issue.
kids got a hold of lawn darts, we would be at the hospital
See,
All
that's
the
the
time.
thing.
all the time.
You have to know how to execute a throw. But even that, if you missed, you would hit the person, your opponent on the other side.
And
of the
remember, the 3 or 4-year-old who's hanging out with his bigger brothers doesn't know where
It's
to
just
walk.
It's like the kid walking in front of the swings while you're swinging.
Exactly.
field. I don't even
Yeah.
think it was so much that. I think these darts were overthrown, and the bystanders who aren't even watching the game.
Oh, could you imagine?
At the barbecue.
Yeah. So I made this casserole, and Joni made her ambrosia, and then you get this thing. No.
Something in my back?
Yeah, right in
Why do
between
I
the
feel
shoulder
like-
blades. Did
Why
you
do I-
get stung by a bee?
They just dropped.
Sorry. I didn't mean
You
to-
see this big arrow,
Didn't mean to play
big
footsies
lawn
with you.
dart out of their head. So what's the concept? You have a ring on one side, a ring on another side, separated by a nice amount of space, and you're going to throw darts, but you're going to
Accuracy.
throw these huge projectiles with a little fin on it, but this big spike.
It's like a lance.
Yeah, and it's weighted, so you have to throw this thing. And if you miss, I guess they were so focused on the success of getting it in the target, they really didn't factor in what would happen if you missed.
I
The-
guess.
the
Sure, a lot
creators
of
that made
people
this.
missed.
But I think that's just the best toy ever. Because when I suggested we do this,
This
I was like,
episode.
what could we talk about? All I had to say was lawn
Lawn
darts.
Yeah. It's so crazy.
Never played them.
Yeah.
I guess I'm kind of glad
Yeah.
because, like
I wonder if
said,
we can
I didn't
find
wanna-
those on eBay.
Don't tell mom with that one. That'd be a little difficult.
But
Yeah.
that's the
I
thing
don't
is
think
moms were buying
I
it for
think
their
that's
kids.
Mom,
I think
Karen
that's
has a
the
hole in her
key.
foot.
I think that's the key. You won't find anyone that played with them.
yeah, yeah,
They all dead. They all dead. So I got another one. Can I go again?
yep.
Okay. This one might have been my childhood. You guys might have just missed this. Did you ever hear of Snack Time Cabbage Patch?
Snack Time Cabbage Patch is a little bitch I wanted to bring up to you right now. Okay?
Whoa, that was
For those of
aggressive,
you who
Dan.
do not know Snack Patch Cabbage
No.
Kid.
Wait,
No.
no, it's
Snack Time Cabbage Patch Kid.
Snack Time
You
Cabbage
totally
Patch.
missed that one up.
This was a beautiful Cabbage Patch doll, okay, with a little mechanism that you can feed it, and it would eat it.
Yeah.
And it would just chew and chew and chew.
Yeah.
However, when little Sally got her hair caught in the doll, and the doll
Oh, you
would
just made
continue
me
to
think-
chew and chew and chew.
You just made me
This
think
was a
of another
911
toy.
episode.
Yeah, you made me think of another toy that did that. Hair got stuck.
So it just keeps chewing and chewing and pulling the child.
What they were called.
Or if it, yeah, remember that, and or a finger, or any hair is a big one because
Your
that'll
finger,
just go in.
the hair. Was a doll that ate your children.
It ate human children and French fries.
ate your children. What could go wrong?
Was there nobody in this warehouse that said, "I don't want this thing eating my kids or anyone else's"?
This is vanity run amok. This is when you get so big for your britches and you're just trying to find. You just sold 80 billion of your product.
Yes.
And you're just throwing ideas now. Let's just get. It's the same doll. Well, what can we do different? Well, we can put a bib on her. Now she's a baby Cabbage Patch Kid. Now she's this. Now she's that. Let's put a mechanism in her that will chew and eat.
In theory, that sounds great.
My goodness.
In theory. And then you remember you're with kids.
This is artificial intelligence. We're creating a
Right.
doll with a substance that
That will
mechanism
eat
that
you.
will eat you.
Oh my gosh.
And you get your finger caught in there.
Gonna kill
Let
me.
that sink in, people.
Yeah.
It's gonna kill me.
It'll
It was
scalp your child.
It
Karen
was-
is trying so hard to think of this other thing that would eat your hair.
It was a doll or like a fairy with wings, and it had like a launching thing. And when you pressed it, it flew up in the air and spun around, and it got caught in kids' hair.
Yeah, and it poked people in the eyes
Yes.
and everything. That is also I
Yes.
didn't put it on my list.
Yes.
Because I never saw it.
Forget what they're called.
Did it work with water?
I think
Or did
they
you
were,
just
I
launch
think
it?
they were in the 90s because I want to say 90s, maybe 2000s, because I think my girls had one. And also the ones that you can get at am I allowed to say Disney?
Yeah.
At Disney, those spinny toys, you know, you
They were like little
and they-
helicopter things.
Yeah. And they spin around and you can get your hair caught in them.
I found it on when I was doing research for this episode, so now I've got to find it for you guys.
I
there's my
forget what
Cabbage
it's
Patch.
It's got something.
There's
it
the
was-
lawn
It was a
darts.
fairy. It was
Yes.
some kind of fairy, but I can't.
Very unassuming too. You would never think that was going around killing people.
But it would release off of this launching thing.
And it would, like,
And it
fly.
would fly. Yes.
Yeah.
oh wait, here
There
we go.
it is.
Sky dancers.
The
flying
Sky
dolls.
dancers.
See, I
It seemed like a clever idea.
Yeah.
Sky dancers sold more, mostly in the latter half of the 1990s, were hard plastic dolls with wing-covered arms and sat in a molded base. When kids pulled a cord, their dolls launched and flew.
yes.
Unfortunately, the dolls often launched themselves right into the kids themselves.
Yes.
Many reports of eye injuries, broken teeth, serious cuts, and even get this, broken ribs and concussions.
Broken ribs and
God.
concussions. My
Well, I guess when
goodness.
those things came down,
Oh, I guess.
In the end, 9 million were recalled.
Wow.
Holy cow.
See, that made the Cabbage Patch thing made me think of it.
Yeah, no, both. What do you think's more deadly, the Cabbage Patch or the...
the Cabbage Patch.
Cabbage Patch probably.
That
Yeah,
thing-
that was.
And then there was also that.
It ate you.
There's something
was-
scarier about that, right? Like that little thing, the little twisty, it hits you. It's like, ouch, that really sucks.
Yeah,
gonna
the other
sw-
thing, like it's like a Venus flytrap or something. That's what it sounded
I
like.
can't get
This
out.
thing takes you, grabs you, and pulls you,
Yeah, that sounds scary.
and you're being eaten
getting
alive
scared
by
right
your
now.
doll.
Wow.
And there's little children
Then there's
who've
the toys.
endured that.
There are the toys where they had like magnets or something, and the kids were swallowing magnets.
They were high-powered magnets.
Yeah.
There's several of those. There's several of those on all the lists. I can't remember any of them because I didn't actually put any on my list. But anything that had like a small piece
Yeah.
potentially became a
Well, the
a
aqua
choking.
dots and
That was a big
yeah.
one because I guess those looked very tempting to kids.
Okay.
There are a lot of choking things. Yeah.
Did you guys ever? I never used
Never
aqua
did any.
dots.
No.
I don't
And
even
I
know-
never did anything like that either, where like I stuck beads up my nose or anything like that.
Oh,
like,
you haven't lived, Karen.
Tic Tacs.
Oh, you got a Tic Tac in your nose?
Yeah.
Did the doctor get it out or you got it out yourself?
No, my mom freaked out, panicked. She said, "Danny boy, blow your nose, blow your nose, blow your nose."
It got out.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
My niece stuck a bead up there. Huh? What'd you say? What did he say?
He's a grown man. Are you for real, dude? Or is
No,
it-
no, I
okay.
was 4. I was 3 or 4.
Okay.
Because I thought it was cool.
It was last year.
I put him in my nose. And I said,
Still
"Mom,
in
look."
there.
And
Yeah,
she
it's still
freaked
in there.
out.
Oh my gosh.
It's lodged in his brain.
Yeah. Do you have the next one or should I just keep on rolling?
Go right ahead.
Just keep on rolling.
All right. They
Rolling,
they call me Sam Slip and Slide for a reason. I mean,
no,
Slide
slip
tell.
and slide tell.
so can I give a shout out to my friend Michael Rosat who was saying
Sure.
how his grandma doesn't let him do the slip and slide on her nice mowed grass. So they were slip and sliding on concrete into 2nd Street.
See, I don't even want to hear that.
Dude, that is hardcore.
Slip and slide is dangerous as an adult.
Yo, speaking of which, can I tell you guys a little story of what happened just 2 years ago? So I have not used a slip and slide for many reasons. I don't want to die.
Right.
So I have a staff party for Camp Tuscaloosa, and one of the older staff, going to remain nameless, but older than me, decided, hey, I'm still young enough to slide and slip. She brought her own slip and slide. And I swear to you guys, not 2 minutes into this slip and slide venture, she's on her feet, and then she's on her back, and then she's concussed. She does not remember the party.
Was it a regular slip and slide, or did you guys like do the
shampoo,
the
and
shampoo.
everything.
Yeah, no, we
trick.
got crazy with it. Yeah.
Yeah,
but not my
happened,
call.
That happened to Karen too.
Did it? Did you go back?
I was looking for the video too.
I think I broke my. I think I actually broke my thumb.
Oh, that's not funny.
Yeah, I never went to the doctors, but it hurt so bad, and it was swollen the next day.
For
And
a long
long time it hurt, and yeah, there may have been alcohol involved.
Oh,
as well.
really? Shocker.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Surprise of the century.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is what we give kids. I don't know about you guys, but I would always, at least once, hit the rock, or I'd be on my belly, and
I never did it.
never did it.
You know why? Just something in my instinct said you're gonna get hurt,
Now I just thought of something.
and I did a lot of stupid stuff.
I just thought of something because now I'm scared because there is video, and if Dan puts this in the clip, I'm gonna hurt him.
I'm so excited right now.
Oh, your slip and slide?
Yeah.
I looked for it today because we talked about in the last episode about toys, and we brought up the slip and slide, and I was looking for her
Yeah.
her video clip. I couldn't find it. It's on Facebook though, people.
Yeah.
It's out there.
You'll find it. I want to see it. Oh, man. Oh, by the way, going back to lawn darts real quick, a little fun fact. No less than 6,000 kids hospitalized from lawn darts. 6,000 children.
Oh my
6,000.
God! What could those injuries be other than being impaled?
Oh, it has to be. Oh no! Oh no! Why
Am I laughing so hard at that?
What I want to know from
This is your camp
from-
counselor.
Yeah. What I want to know from Michael is how much skin did he leave on on the road?
God. Oh, jeez. You know, there's one that some people are saying is dangerous, yet I feel okay about this one, and I want to know your take. Some people are thinking that you should not give children slap bracelets.
What? Okay.
I kept seeing that appear
I don't
as a dangerous toy, and I'm not.
And it.
But some people
So
think
what-
if you do it
does
too
it hurt?
hard, you
No,
can-
no, that's
I
not
don't
what it
know
is, dude.
What is it?
No, what is it? This is what it is. And that's as an educator, you prepare the kids that if this happens, you need to toss it. What happens is the two pieces of plastic or furry, whatever, come off. And what's underneath is a not very sharp, but sharp enough piece of metal. So the kids would get it off, and then they would
Just
try to do
raised-
it again.
And it
Right.
would
cut your
that.
wrist, you know?
Okay.
So you just have to
it's
prepare.
sharp.
Yeah, you have to tell the kids, like, look, if this is
Got
breaking,
it.
pitch it, you know?
Yeah.
Got it. But yeah, that lot of cut wrists, as dark as that
Wow.
sounds. Yeah.
Never thought of that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
See, though,
Yeah, 'cause I saw that a lot.
I see you taking the slap bracelet apart to see what's inside it.
You're damn right.
Yeah. See.
Tootin'.
Yep. Darn tootin'.
Yeah. So I just have a few more.
Sure.
Let's we talked about it a little bit on our toys episode last week. You get an easy bake, you get a burn.
Yeah. From the light bulb.
Yeah, that's just gonna happen. Yeah, I know. I would have.
Sometimes those things would just burn up. Also, I think they were short out.
Would they catch fire?
I think so.
Ooh, God. Okay, just a couple. Oh, got to bring up a couple jumpy, tooth shattering, ankle breaking. I got 3 of them for you. Everyone remembers moon shoes, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. I don't know how I survived those, but I did. But another one. You know what I didn't think of that everyone was mentioning to me? Do you guys remember? I wrote down the skip it.
Yeah, I never did that, but yeah, you attached it to your ankle.
Yeah.
It was a little
And you did like you
It's a
actually
weird
skipped.
movement.
Yeah.
So you spin it around.
Spin
It
around,
rolls on.
and as it comes around, you jump
you
over.
jump.
You jump over it.
Yeah. So it's like a jump rope, but you tie it around your ankle, kind of.
essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
And when I posted online, like, hey, what are the dangerous toys you guys played with?
Right.
A plethora of people mentioned skip
Skip
it,
it.
and a few of them said many broken ankles.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I was a
Skip
big
it.
roller skater, so
I would see to skip it, but I never thought it was that.
I didn't do
I never
skip
looked
it.
at it as a
don't know
dangerous
how-
item.
it didn't look that fun to me. So I know.
is that a '90s toy?
Yeah.
Skip it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
That-
so. I didn't think.
Yeah, it was on all the Nickelodeon commercials when I was a
Yeah.
kid. Yeah. And the final one, oh, look out. The final one on my list, and now I'm forgetting what it is. I got it. A pogo ball.
You were talking about that in the last time. I think anything
So it's
with
not a
pogo
stick.
in front of it.
It's just a ball.
Now I've seen the pogo ball. Looks like Saturn.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just because we brought it up last week in the episode, and it's like a gym ball, like a kickball, but there's a large piece of plastic
Oh, you
around
just
it.
reminded me of
2
dodgeball.
kickballs.
What? That was so mean in school.
I do dodgeball, but nowadays we have these foam encased balls that are hard enough to throw, but they won't hurt you if they hit you in the face. Leave those little rubber indentions.
Yeah.
That's what was so great about
It
them.
was
though.
the best. And you hear that noise? The ding.
Because for as bad as it hurt you, you felt just as vindicated doing that to someone else.
You like let out your frustrations playing dodgeball, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I know, but
And then
that's
you,
not really
then you
nice.
high five.
Like,
No, hold on.
elementary school isn't so bad, but come middle school.
Oh, that's a different
People are
animal.
mean.
See, I work with the elementary
Yeah.
age. Once I get to
like,
middle
you
school,
think
I'm like,
middle
whoa.
school, high school.
Dodgeball was
They're
fantastic.
like
So
they're
fun.
getting back at you because you like the boy they like or
Yeah.
the girl they like.
So you chuck it right for the head.
Right?
You know, I actually sometimes during my day think to myself, I am playing dodgeball and I'm getting paid for it.
Right. You have fun.
Get paid for dodgeball.
good time.
Wait. So I need to tell you, Sam mistakenly texted us something about a chicken fight one day. And I was like, oh, I thought you were inviting us. No idea that it was inflatable chickens in
Those
the
things
pool.
are amazing.
Here I'm thinking actual chicken fights. I'm thinking, my gosh, he does that at camp? Like the kids pile up on each other? And
That's a great idea.
And he
No.
posted pictures.
Yeah,
the
blow
next
up
day,
chickens.
They are actual blow up chickens.
You sit on these bad boys and you want to pull someone off of theirs or push or however you
It's a
do
chicken
it.
fight.
That's awesome. You have to send pictures so we can post it.
Yeah, yeah, I will. It's fun. It's fun.
on
But that's
thing.
about
But
it.
that was
I mean,
another one. The chicken fights in a pool.
Yeah.
There were so many dangerous things to do in a pool.
Yeah. It's great.
I got something for you that you may have overlooked. The trampoline.
I didn't overlook the trampoline.
This is something that, don't worry about the kids. They'll be fine. It's the adults who set up the camera and try to do something stupid in front with the trampoline that always wind up getting hurt. You watch them. I don't think America's Funniest Videos would have a show if it wasn't for the trampoline.
Yeah.
My employee tore her ACL on trampoline just this year. We used to do pro wrestling shows on the trampoline. Pro, I don't know if I want to call it pro.
Right.
But there was always this little hole that was
And
just
you get
start off
stuck
so
in
little. Well, the hole got to be about the size of that. Like you put your thumb and middle finger together. It's about that size. My friend decided, all right, dude, I'm going to the roof and I'm splashing you off the top. He goes to the roof. He jumps, and I'm saying, just like a glove, fits right into the hole and just hangs there. I'm stuck. No injury, but it was hilarious.
And then there's always that gap between the railing and where the springs connect the trampoline.
Yeah.
That little space where you just fall right through.
I never
They thought
bought
they'd
a
make them
trampoline.
safer now
Yeah.
by putting the net.
Yeah.
Oh, that
around
just
it.
traps you into the death trap.
Yeah.
But I've seen them where they're
Your
just...
homeowner's insurance is higher if you say you have
Yeah.
one.
Do you know how much I would have to pay as a school owner if I got a trampoline?
I can't even imagine because I know your homeowner's
Well,
goes
it's
up.
only because trampolines injure 100% of the people.
Of
who use
course.
them.
Of
So
course.
that's the only reason.
Like,
And they're
let's
still
have a
making them.
party.
They
Go on
are.
the
They're
Still making
trampoline.
them the trampoline.
No, but if they truly did stop making trampolines, I would be I might move to Canada.
I like having the choice of whether or not you
Yes.
want to get a trampoline.
We should have that choice. Am I right?
Yeah.
Karen, am I right?
Sure.
But they're never used
I'm
as
not-
they're supposed to be used.
Just bouncing? No.
Yeah,
It
you're
always
supposed
turns
to-
into
I
a
could
match.
always do
I
flips.
just
I,
see,
I was really
I just
good
see
on a
danger.
trampoline.
Can you still do a flip on one, you
I
think?
can.
I want to say that.
I want to see that.
Yeah, I get.
I want to
get-
see
I
that.
get headaches
'Cause, like-
now. I get feel it
Because I'm
He's
I
already
could
you
still,
see me doing.
excuses.
wait, I could still do
No,
a
you see me
cartwheel,
doing-
but it don't feel like it does the next day.
You see me doing when I
But it
dive
did when I
in
was-
the pool and stuff.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I know we're
So I
getting
can-
off topic, but the other day, I can still rock a cartwheel pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, I could do.
But what I can't do
I can do a cartwheel
is
fine.
I
rock.
can do one hand cartwheels.
Okay, dude, you're amazing.
Yeah.
But let me finish.
I'm Jim.
Dude, but what I can't do is rock an amazing cartwheel in front of my entire camp without my pants getting ripped all the way down the middle.
Oh no.
Oh yes,
You're doing something wrong there.
dude. They were.
That happened.
Oh no.
I really like those pants too. Just saying. I played it off, I think.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, no. See, I've done cartwheels before, and then the next day I'm like, why do my legs hurt so bad?
See, we don't need
Why?
toys. We'll just hurt ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about some of the obvious ones? That's an obvious one, you know?
Here's another one. Firecrackers.
Oh, the things that you would throw,
No,
or actual
firecrackers.
firecrackers. Well, who plays with those?
Kids.
They're dangerous.
Kids.
Oh, we would strap our
It was
GI
never the 40-year-old man that said, "Well, I have nothing to do today. I'm going to play with my firecrackers." No, they were kids. You put them in
kids.
model airplanes and then watch them explode. You put them in frogs and watch them explode. This is what they did.
Oh, poor
Not me. Do not send your
frogs.
complaints to me. I'm just the messenger. This happened many, many decades ago before my parents were even born. This is what they did with firecrackers.
fun?
Yeah, basically for fun. Firecrackers. And then you'd put them in your hand and watch your hand explode and pick your fingers up and stuff. This is what we gave the kids.
Yeah.
You know, at the time, you didn't need a license or an ID just buy firecracker. I think they were sold next to the bubble gum.
You can buy firecrackers again.
Yeah. Well, you can always buy firecrackers. You can always buy
You have
fireworks.
to be 18.
You need,
Yeah.
and in West Virginia, as soon as you get in there,
but
they have
here
a booth.
in New Jersey, they didn't have
But
firecrackers.
that's here. But
now
in
they
the
do.
world, it's always
I
been
know, but-
in America. It's always been accessible.
But now they do in New Jersey is what I'm saying. Like you go to Walmart right now and probably buy them.
Well, they do that to decrease the population. It's all calculated. I got a whole book on conspiracy theories
Oh
written
my
by
gosh.
me. Check it out
Yeah,
online.
yeah. Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah.
Firecrackers is
Rockets
in the first
and
chapter.
firecrackers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to tie my GI Joes up to the rockets and shoot them up in the air.
Well, here's another one. The rockets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Bottle rockets.
Bottle rockets.
The best. Oh, they're the best.
The firecracker rockets that would go into space or get launched. Is that what they were called at the time? I did.
Seriously, why is it when we were kids, so many kids had firecrackers?
I don't know.
Yeah. It was just a thing. Every now and then you'd hear pow. And if they had the M80s,
Pop, 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 pop.
ooh, look out, the M80s.
I just remember those things that used to throw and they
Those
would.
are those little snappers.
Snappers. Or
You get them
whatever
at
they
the
were called,
carnival. They had
snaps.
just a little bit of gunpowder in it.
And you'd throw
Oh,
And
it
with
down
stones.
Oh, we get those all the time, the poppers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fun.
and scare the bejesus out of people.
So-
What's the most you guys ever got hurt doing something as a kid? Whether it be with a toy or just being a dummy.
Well, this probably goes with probably the most dangerous thing you can ever buy. And it was a Superman cape.
Did you try to fly?
I did.
Shoot, Dan.
I did.
So did I at one point.
Right off of a Ford dump truck.
That's pretty high up for a little kid.
For a little kid, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Defender.
So did you get any air or?
Yeah, for the brief second that I hit the ground, I got there. I remember another. You know what? Looking back now, because everything's prefaced with my mom saying, "Oh, Danny boy," and this is another one.
Danny
She found me
boy.
on the ground. Oh, Danny boy, I'm all mangled on the floor. Another trip to the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, because I thought I was Superman.
Wow. You found out you weren't, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably the most damage I've ever gotten was from my bike.
Yeah. Oh, what's the
And that could rank right up there with one of the most dangerous toys, you know, because if you didn't,
Sure.
because you could do some serious damage on a BMX.
Oh, I've heard. I have the scars to prove it. I've
Yeah.
been hit by many cars.
That little padding that they put
New
on
York
the
City.
center bar does nothing.
It piles into your chest when you hit something straight on.
No, the actual center of the frame.
Oh,
from
you
the
mean that
seat,
little foam thing?
that little piece of foam thing?
Yeah, that ain't protecting.
I'm sure
nobody.
every girl
No.
can agree with me. A bike injury that when you're riding your 10 speed and you fall on the bar.
Wait, what?
Well,
Yeah, because
the girls' bikes,
the girls' bike,
their bars went down.
our bars went down. But even if you fell on it, it would still, it would hurt.
And I don't think
Wowzers.
It
anything
would
was
hurt
worse.
there.
The bikes had especially the 10 speeds. Once you got into that caliber of bike, you got the pedals with the cleats on them.
Oh yeah.
Those metal cleats.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and if
Your
a
shin.
freewheel, it would just smack
Oh yeah, your shin.
Oh, that hurts so bad.
Yes.
Never injures you.
No,
Always hurts
just
so
hurts.
bad.
Scrape up your shins.
Just hurts.
Yeah. Can I tell you guys my biggest injury as a kid?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you familiar with a film called Back to the Future? Are you familiar with the way Marty McFly would hold on to cars as he skateboarded.
Oh, no.
Now, I don't remember this happening. It was
Probably a good thing.
well, no, because of how hard I hit my head. Supposedly, my sister driving 20 miles an hour, me being, such a daredevil. Come on, go faster, go faster. She said she was going 35 miles an hour with me on my skateboard. And she said, I had long hair at the time. It was falling out of my scalp. I did not come to for about 6 hours. That bump changed my life.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did your parents want to?
Oh,
How many times
don't
were
remember.
you concussed?
So it's funny you asked that. I'm going to be interviewed on a sports show about this in a few years, or in a few weeks. See, there you go.
Say no more.
There you go.
Say no more.
Dumb. Yeah.
So I have other than that concussion, I think I had 5 when I was a pro wrestler.
Other than that one.
Three by hitting the back of my head, and 2 from getting hit in the jaw really hard. And boy, maybe it's because of how hard my first concussion was, but man, when I get concussed, it's like blank. I just don't know what's happening the rest of the day. I just come to many hours later. I'm like,
it's a brain injury and your brain shuts off.
but I just hear so many
That's
people who get concussions who are just like, yeah, I remember everything. It just feels not me. Anytime I get a concussion, I am not myself.
You say it like it's a common like every time I get a cold.
Well, not lately. Lisa won't let me get concussions anymore. So
Well, that's a good thing.
Very good.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's a sweetheart.
Yeah, that's.
And
a
you're
good
very
thing.
lucky because, my kids are hockey fans and stuff, and there's so many hockey players that are so serious. Chris Pronger, just so seriously concussed that they can't be in a room with lights. They have to wear sunglasses. Like their whole life, their whole way of life is just shut
Changed.
down.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I ever really got. Thank goodness. Seriously.
Yeah, no, you
hurt.
trust me from experience. You would know.
Bumped and bruised, but I never really broke a bone until my thumb from the slip and slide.
Yeah,
but
not from a toy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Until I had kids,
I
I
didn't-
guess, because then
not
they got
from
Nerf
anything.
guns, and they would always ambush me when I like mind my own business or something. And all of a sudden, like I'm working, and I get a dart in the eye. I'm like,
Oh, that's adorable.
I fractured my nose.
how? But I love your nose.
Oh, I hate my
shit.
nose.
Love
I hate my
love
nose.
Love
Yes, I should have
You got a
gotten
good
it.
nose.
Nope, I should have gotten it fixed
What could you
when
possibly
I
do to that
fractured it.
nose?
What could you possibly do to your nose to make it better?
No, I don't
It's a
like
fine
it.
nose.
I don't like it. But I fractured it in gym class in high school.
Oh. I almost knocked myself out because of Mr. McScrooge.
Mr. McScrooge.
From
Mr. McScrooge.
from DuckTales. Do you know Mr. McScrooge?
DuckTales.
He would jump
Woo!
into every day that's something DuckTales.
Ooh.
Yo, this man would die.
Your mother is a saint.
I know. I thank her all the time. I always say, Mom, you never gave up on me.
Aw.
I don't know how, but
She's a saint.
she really is. But in every episode, he would dive into his money and take a swim.
Oh.
So I collected a lot of pennies.
Oh no.
And I dove into those pennies.
You couldn't wait till you were at Chuck E. Cheese and go into a ball pit or something. You
That's not what McScrooge did, man.
All right.
He swam in his money. Different experience. Also, impossible experience, I found out.
Mm-hmm.
I got more of those stories. I'll save them for another day.
If you look at Mr. McScrooge, the pile that he jumps in is almost as big as he is.
Oh, it's bigger. He's got a pool. He's
Yeah.
got a swimming pool of money.
So until you get a pool of money, then you jump into the pool. If you
Well,
want
I
to
had
be
a-
accurate,
I had
for
a
screen
bucket.
accuracy,
Like you could dip your head into a bucket of water. I don't want to dip my head into a bucket of pennies.
I want to
It
know
really
how your
hurt.
thought process works. I want to just
He's had
for 5,
He's had concussions.
just for 3 minutes, because I don't think I could take any
Let's-
longer in your head. So
Let's just say he's had concussions.
yeah,
Do I come off as a thought process nut?
you come off with lack of thought process. No. Yeah. Hey, Sam, look at my cool orb. You could touch it and it radiates and there's electric coming out
Well,
of it.
let's break
You
it
know, Let's
open.
break
Right.
it and see if
And
it'll do
figure
the
out how to-
whole room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go back to our mall episode. You'll hear
Yeah.
that gem.
Yeah.
I got more. I'll save more for other episodes. Yeah. It's crazy. Thanks for sticking with me, everybody.
Your whole life has been based on trying to make a reality out of fantasies.
Wow, this is getting very therapeutic.
It is. It is. You would watch the that Last Dragon movie,
Yeah, Last Dragon.
and you want to glow.
I wanted that.
You want to have that glow.
I
that
feel
he
like I
does.
sometimes have it.
So you based your whole life, dear
It was
God
you
Almighty.
this time. I don't feel bad anymore. Karen almost spilled.
It was me this time.
And then, the whole concept of being a wrestler.
Yeah.
And all these things that, the duck, a talking duck jumped into a pile of gold. And you
wanted to emulate him.
you made that realistic. You said, let me make this real.
It's because I'm a dreamer. I can't help it.
It must be.
I'm a dreamer.
It must be.
Let me give you one more.
Keep it coming.
All right, so
Keep it
Karen,
coming.
you're going to love this one. This is the last one, people, but you're going to love it. Nintendo Entertainment System tried its best with pro wrestling video games. They tried to make it look like, but it was NES. And Macho Man Randy Savage, the man somewhere on my shirt.
He's at the bottom.
Do you guys know what his finishing maneuver was? Where's that cricket sound effect?
Sure, it was savage. Yeah.
It's there it is.
There we go.
So he did, which is rare for a main eventer, a high flying move, which was an elbow drop off the top rope. But if you ever go back and play the old NES WWF game, the elbow drop looks like he does it like this. And what I am doing is putting my
Knuckles.
fist on my forehead.
Right.
And so all the stuffed animals were on the floor, me on the top bunk, jumping off, flying through the wind, hitting the...
How old were you?
And
How old were you?
probably about like 9 or 10. Too old to do this.
Okay.
And the impact of
You're
my...
old enough to have seen the real one do this a million
That's-
times on television.
That's the hard part about me telling the stories. I could have just emulated the TV, but I want to emulate the video game that I was
video game.
obsessed with at the time. And man, did I
This
really...
is why that they say that boys' brains develop later than girls.
if at all. If they develop at all. Yeah, it's so true. Yeah,
It's that classic meme where the couple is in bed and the woman is like he's thinking of her and he's like, and his thought bubble is like,
Something really stupid.
how tall is Macho Man?
Really stupid.
Can I get guns like Hogan?
So did you put your knuckles through your head?
Oh
or?
man, that was the first time
Did you
I
break your
saw
hand,
stars.
or-
No, it was
Oh,
all
well,
head.
that's-
Like I saw stars. Like that was the first time I saw stars, and I was like,
That's probably
whoa.
why you black out now, because even the stars were like, dude, we're tired of this
We're
now.
done with you, dude.
Yeah.
They say that the more you get concussed, the easier you get concussed. And by the end of my wrestling career, I was getting hit by a gust of wind and I was out. It's just
God.
like, my jaw, my head, it doesn't want any of that.
Wow.
Do you guys have any other toys? Because
Did you ever hear of the Power Time circular saw?
no,
What is it? A
The
toy?
Power Mite
this
circular
actually
saw.
already sounds
It was a
interesting.
toy?
This was a toy. If you want to look it up, it was made by
Again,
some
I need
company,
my
as
glasses.
most of these things are. And at the time, I was little. I used to have
What's it called?
a toolbox, Power Mite,
Power Might.
M-I-T-E.
M-I-G-H-T.
MITE,
Oh.
Okay.
Power Mite. And I used to have a little toolbox. Toolboxes were in back in the day. Everyone had a little wrench set because we would fix our bikes and stuff. But
Oh,
when
legit tools.
Yeah, even when you were younger, you get a
This is like real saws. This isn't a toy.
well, maybe you
Power
might have to
Mite
Google toy.
Saw toy.
Yeah, it's called the Power Mite circular saw,
Circular.
and it was I guess it was a little tool for kids, but it had real saw blades on it.
Of
So
course.
whatever could go wrong with that, eventually did. And
1969.
You got
Vintage
the
miniature tool.
So is this a
tools.
sharp blade?
real saw blade.
Wow.
Yeah.
For kids.
Yeah.
Look at that beast. That's for kids. That just looks like smaller versions of the real tools.
This is a circular saw, jigsaw, and table vise set.
Wow, they were really trying to hurt people.
Yeah.
Wow.
They did it. Did a good job.
Oh, look, you could cut a battery. Or was that the battery that goes in
that's
it?
safe.
No, those are models. Those are.
Oh.
I don't know if you're looking at the right thing. I don't even know if I'm going to come across it. I don't want to lose
Vintage. Here, Ideal Toys, vintage circular saw.
I am so lucky that was
might be
not a
it.
part of my childhood.
Copyright 1969.
I would not have all of these fingers.
You wouldn't.
No, they'd be all over the
It
place.
says Sam's Toy Box. That's one of the websites.
Is that right?
Sam's
Oh,
Toy
you don't
Box.
want to see what's in there. I'm gonna tell you.
That's what she said.
Now, I guess, who is she? We want to know.
You married her.
We wanna know. Hey,
You married her.
Yep,
Hey.
you did.
the Battlestar Galactica toys back in the 70s had firing mechanisms that shot real rockets, and they would get lodged into the throats.
They would get lodged into the throats of children.
Yes.
It's good.
So
What?
we've so basically
No,
what we're
anyway, Star Wars came out, and the toys surged, became this big thing. So to capitalize on that whole thing, ABC created a show called Battlestar Galactica back in the 70s. What we see now in the 2000s and stuff, that was a whole remake based on these characters. It was just a TV show, but they pretty much did this also for the toy line because the toys came out immediately. And you had the actual ships that would fire real little missiles. They were spring-loaded, kind of like what you do with a pen.
Right.
You know, it's that little...
Yeah.
It would just fire these little rockets. And the same thing with the Cylon ships. You hit a button and it would launch these rockets. And they would get lodged in kids' throats and they would poke eyes out and stuff. So at that same time, they decided to do away with that type of toy. But at that same time, they were creating a new line of Star Wars toys, including the Boba Fett doll. And Boba Fett had a firing
he did
mechanism. in
Boba
it.
Fett did. Oh, I was thinking of Jabba. Okay, yeah.
That's okay.
I get confused.
I can be so patient with you now
Concussions.
because I know this.
Now you understand my disabilities.
Yeah. And all I can do now is just do this. It's okay, Sam.
Thanks, Dan.
So,
Thanks, Danny
so there was a
boy.
rocket launcher in the back. And they made some prototypes and they made a little doll.
Just call him
figurine.
Danny Boy. He
But
loves it.
Because of the recall, they glued all the rockets in. So now if you bought a Boba
No
Fett doll,
way.
it's glued in there. You
But
can't
dude,
get it
there's,
out.
there's still toys to this day.
But that being said, the actual Boba Fett dolls, the action figures that do have a firing mechanism, are the most sought after and most expensive action figures you can get.
that's the number one.
like
That's the biggest one.
$100,000.
Oh, people love the Fett, man.
Yeah, and if you can get that, and that's what people want. You Google, fire.
Are we talking about the stuff they still sell today? It's just like you press the button, the spring shoots the projectile out?
I think what happens is every so many years, the toy companies are like, I think they forgot about that, so let's reissue. Let's put the
Yeah. I'm surprised that hasn't happened with the nuclear waste toy.
I
yet.
know.
Science toy.
I
I know,
forgot that this
but
is dangerous.
Bob Lazar,
Uranium.
he wants to repackage that and put it out. I had another one.
Wait. You talk to Karen. I got a tink. But yo,
Absolutely.
before this, I have
We did
yo, I
slip and
have
slides,
the
lawn
most.
darts.
I have the most epic. I went. Look,
You brought us.
I
And we
can't-
could talk about child
yeah,
safety.
I
in
brought a
general.
gift, but I
Oh,
went
boy.
to the next level with this one. I can't do something like this every week, but I'm very excited for this week's gift. And take your guesses. It's based off our mall episode.
I really could have
It
used
better
all
be
that.
a freaking Cinnabon.
I really could have used all that toilet paper.
Oh my gosh.
It's a big gift, so
Dan.
a lot of toilet paper was used.
Oh, there you go, Dan. You're lucky. See?
So you never really hurt yourself playing with toys like that. I'm just trying to keep the convo going right here.
Oh my goodness.
Because I can't have dead air. So
Awkward silence.
Yeah. There-
No, I didn't.
I don't know if I
bad.
had any. Naturally there were the clackers,
Yeah.
but I never really.
I don't think I really don't. I mean,
I had
would-
a racing.
I probably
toy.
would have to ask my mom.
I had
did
a
I
racing
hurt
toy.
myself? I don't think I ever really did.
And it had a trigger on it, and every time you hit it, it was a remote control, and every time you hit it, it would make this loud clicking sound, cling, and it would make the car move. And then I think you hit it again and it stopped. But the clicking on it was so loud, and it was just plastic and spring, and
Right.
just the way it reverberated through the mechanism. It was so loud that I couldn't play with it. And even my mom was like, "Oh, Danny, I don't want you playing with that toy." It was just such a loud clicker.
Clicker.
Yeah,
Say it again.
clicker,
Clicker.
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 I'll do it with emphasis on my mouth. Clicker. Because I notice my lips don't seem to move when I talk. It's one of the critiques
They do.
when you're watching these.
Do mine?
Yeah, everyone's
yours-
does. Mine they stay the same and they don't.
No, yours move. I think you kind of smile when you talk, though. So
don't know.
maybe it's a little. I don't know.
Oh, good, he's back.
He's back.
You guys laughing?
Yeah,
No
Yeah.
laughing without me.
Yeah.
we're
Well,
talking about toys and clickers.
Poison.
The only other
Got one more?
other than just
you'll have to watch.
the
to-
ridiculous methods of child safety back in the day. We had our toys. Most of them were painted with lead.
Mm-hmm.
We had toys that would kill you, toys that would eat you,
I mean, we'd kill ourselves without it.
toys
but-
that'll set you on fire.
Right, we didn't need toys to hurt
Nowadays we have the
ourselves.
hoverboard.
Yeah, Mike Tyson took a fall on one of those. Couldn't stand for a week.
My youngest has been asking for one for. Yeah, and I don't want to do it.
Yeah. Oh.
No.
Yeah. And they're expensive.
Yeah.
So, are you guys ready to see what I brought out?
We're ready.
Nothing dangerous about this bad boy.
Oh.
Only awesomeness. All right.
All right.
So,
My middle name is Awesomeness.
look at this giant box.
Is this a bottle of wine?
It looks like that shape, right? It's a bottle of something.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
A lava lamp. It's a lava lamp.
Yes,
See?
sir.
I guessed it.
Lava lamp for
It's a
the
lava
cafe.
Oh, that's awesome.
This cafe could not
We
be
need
complete.
some ambiance around.
Relaxing,
that lava lamp.
decorative,
We'll definitely find a
entertaining.
place to-
Green, blue. I chose
It's an
green, blue.
American icon since 1965.
I think these were just as dangerous. They would start fires and they would just.
That's really
I know
nice
they've,
to say, Dan.
No,
We'll
I
see
know
what
they've,
happens.
I'm assuming they've perfected them now, but like it would just burn to touch. I know you couldn't touch these because
Watch the lava blobs.
it was lava. It was
And
whatever.
enjoy
It was
the movement.
if there's any safety things on here,
Probably.
where they just let you go.
It takes a 25 watt bulb.
Watch the lava.
That's what I
blob.
was reading,
Okay.
and you move the box
I'm
and
sorry.
enjoy the movement of this timeless
There's
icon.
a bulb
We will.
included.
They also have a Facebook and Instagram page.
Yeah, check them out.
You hear the birds out there?
Sponsor us, Lava Lamp.
Yeah, sponsor us, Lava Lamp.
Really?
Now that we have that official nostalgiacafe.com
I haven't,
website.
Website.
I haven't had my own lava lamp since I was 16.
Now, did you do anything stupid with the
never-
lava lamp? Did you
Did you
crack
try
it
to
open? Did
see
you
what
try
the-
to?
No,
Stuff
because
was real lava?
no, because I owned that and I didn't want to break my own stuff. Only my
Oh,
friends.
only his friends.
Yeah, only my best friends.
Only his bestest friends.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to
Uh-oh.
hook that up and
Yeah.
have a good old lava
Yeah,
time.
we're going to. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Thank you for the lava lamp.
Only the finest for my crew. I love you
I
guys.
really
pretty
thought it was
blue.
going to be a Cinnabon, but
Oh,
That's
you really
okay.
want a 6-day-old Cinnabon?
okay. But really, Sam texted me a picture of himself eating a Cinnabon.
Oh
How
my
mean
God.
was that?
And
Jim
yo, my
Jones
kids were
or
getting
Cinnabon.
haircuts. It was just me and the Cinnabon.
How
it was,
mean was that?
It was magic.
That's a big.
Mean, maybe. Magic,
Yeah.
definitely.
I
It
would,
was mean. I said, "Oh, that's just mean." That was my response.
Sorry, Karen. I'll get you next time.
was there anything else you could think of? I know there was child safety. Like one of the first things I brought up was the kid in the child seat
Yeah.
at the time.
Well, because
The,
they
the-
didn't
the
have
picture of the
didn't
the
have-
kid I sent you.
car seats. Then it was literally called like I forget what they call.
Remember
them.
that?
Oh, please show that to the camera. Oh, that's a safety seat?
Yeah, they
That was
didn't
a
have.
safety seat back
They
in the
didn't have car
70s.
seats.
Wow, that's just a metal pole wrapped around you.
Yep.
Wow. Or how about just sit in the back of the pickup?
I told you I used to sit on the most of the time I would sit on like the hump part, but also I forget what kind of car we had at the time. It was probably a Chrysler, but it had instead of a center console, it had a seat.
Right.
So it was my dad, my mom, and I would sit in the middle there.
Right.
in the front. Little. But most of the time, it was me and my two brothers that were 3 years older than I am in the back. Because then my older brothers were like, working and stuff.
Right.
And on their own.
Guys, I wanted to say, the three of us, we survived.
We survived.
We made it.
We're here today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
We got a few
fans.
stitches, a few concussions, but otherwise.
Oh, I only had stitches here one time.
Oh, I see that. What's that
You
from?
see it?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, it's a really embarrassing story.
Oh, yay.
I was 3.
Uh-huh.
And I was running with a Campbell's soup can.
You do a diving headbutt into your...
Boom.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. That's from a Campbell soup can.
Yep. Campbell soup can. Stitches.
Andy Warhol would love that scar.
That's awesome. Well, slip and slide tell.
For life. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love you guys. I love you guys listening. You guys rock.
Oh, we love you, Sam.
Thank you.
You
Thank
didn't
you.
talk about the 80s extravaganza.
No, we
You
can talk
started
about that
to.
now. Yeah. And then what
And
happened?
they got sidetracked with Jaws.
I was interrupted. After.
80s extravaganza dance party. We are judging.
Yes.
80sac.eventbrite.com. You see it right there on the screen. And then we're going to have it on all the links and stuff.
I hope I'm putting my hand in the right spot.
80sac, eventbrite.com, roller skating, live DJ, an Uno tournament, Rubik's Cube, scavenger hunt, and what we're all waiting for, the big dance party where we're going to be judges. And I think the Miss Karen is going to be out there, shaking it up a little bit
Oh,
too.
yeah. She's going to vogue.
That's it.
Shake your groove thing.
You can always follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Be sure to give us a like, follow, and subscribe. If you want to advertise with us, contact us. Our new website, the official nostalgiacafe.com. Right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And for all that kind of stuff, we're getting t-shirts made.
Yes.
We're going to be getting them made.
Yes.
Buy them.
And we'll have some merch for you, and we'll have some merch for the 80s extravaganza.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds like fun. Well,
Only
it's
the
time.
finest.
It's time to close up shop for the night. I'm Dan Morrow, along with Slip and Slide Tell. And
Sorry.
You're so proud of yourself.
I am. It sounds like it's
perfect.
It sounds like we missed the music.
This
right there.
happens every time you play it.
Yeah.
We can't help
It
ourselves.
sounds like some ridiculous porn name.
That's what Lisa said when I was like, Lisa, you got to hear this nickname of the week. And she's like, well,
Yeah.
as long as no one thinks it's something sexual.
Yeah.
Slip and Slide Tell.
I hope Lisa doesn't watch.
It's not. It's maybe it is. I don't know.
Stroker's ace.
You guys are going to have to go back to other episodes to get that, Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, unless they're true nostalgic fans, they would know Stroker Ace.
I believe
Stroker Ace,
Stroker-
not Stroker's Ace.
I know, but
You're-
no.
Let's-
This is why your mic should always be off.
Oh, Karen. Oh, that's a look of love. I think that was a look of love.
Okay.
Well, it's time to close up shop for the night.
Slip and slide tails.
Dan Morrow and the beautiful Karen Lane.
Cowabunga, you radical dudes.
Stay
Bye.
safe out there. Follow the directions on the box.